Hey everybody, welcome. Yeah, I'm out here by the lake, not too far, Lake Bardwell, here in Texas. Whew. It's amazing. It was cold weather just a few days ago. Now it's 73, 75, somewhere around there. It's crazy the way it changes in here. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about something today that something a little bit different. I needed to get out so that you can be able to see kind of where I'm going with what I'm going to talk about. And what I'm going to talk about today has everything to do with bugging out. Well, when you're bugging out, you want to make sure that you have all the equipment that you need. What kind of issues are you going to run into? You know, what kind of equipment do you need? I'm not going to get into my bug out bag. I think you've seen a video on that. But what I am going to get into is, the world's going crazy right now. I mean, we just don't know what's going to happen. But let's just pretend that things went bad and you had to get out of wherever you were at. Let's say you were in the city and it just got bad in your neighborhood and lots of riots, and you just had to get out of there. So now you got your go bag and you've gone. You've left. And but society hasn't got to the point where we've lost communication necessarily. We have, you know, the TV, the radio, all that's still working. So you can, if you have the means to be able to communicate with, you can still find out what's going on. So at least if you bug out someplace and you're out in the middle of nowhere, you want to know what's going on. But here's the big deal: you don't know how long you're going to be out, how long you're going to be out in the wilderness, or wherever your bug out location. Do you have a way to be able to communicate? And if you do, great. Do you have a way to be able to get information? Great. But most people don't. And so I would ask you this question: how are you going to do it? If you've got a cell phone, how are you going to get the information? How are you going to make phone calls? If you're out in the wilderness, there's one little problem: you've got no electricity. How are you going to keep it charged? Some people have backup battery packs, but you know, those only last so long and they have to be recharged. So, you know, in this video, we're going to talk about something I carry in my go bag, and that might be able to help you to be able to charge the things that you need to charge, to be able to use the equipment you need to be able to use, and do it for a long time. Not have to worry about, hey, I don't have generators. I don't have. What I'm going to show you today is a go bag fittable solar generator you can take with you, and in case of an emergency. And that's our topic of our discussion today. So let's go ahead and get started. So what am I talking about? Whoa, hold on a second. I'm getting old. But you know what? Smart enough to be able to build a shelter out here out of the sun. But I need the sun today, so we're going to use the sun today. What I'm going to show you today is a neat little tool that I carry in my pack at all times. And what this tool is the Goal Zero Sherpa 100AC unit. You can barely see it there. There you go. Simple unit. I'm not sure what the weight is, but you know what? You can look it up and you can know what your actual weight is. This unit, what's great about it, it's a 100 watt-hour unit. Okay. Now, hopefully you all are smart enough in your go bag. See, one thing on the way here, there's some big old briars, and I didn't pay attention, and one of the briars, it got me. So before I keep talking to you, I want to make sure I get into my medical kit. Pull out a little band-aid here, and it's a good thing to know with your medical kit how old your medical kit. I'm realizing I got some age to this medical kit, and it's not age, it's mainly it stayed in the car, and because it stayed in the car, it stayed in the sun and kind of wore down these outside. But hey, you know what? The Band-Aid's still in really good shape. Oh yeah, I think this is going to work. So let's see if it'll stick, because that's the important part. I don't know. I may have wore it out in the sun. Hey, there's a lesson learned. Got to be careful. Don't keep it out in the sun. You're going to jack up your equipment. So I may have to relook at this, because guess what? Band-Aid's not working. Oh well. Everything can be perfect. A little blood doesn't hurt anybody. Okay, so again, here we go, guys. So I want to talk about this unit. This is a really neat unit. It is a 100 watts, basically a battery pack. But the difference is that this is a solar generator. What does a solar generator do? Well, a solar generator allows you to be able to recharge this with the sun. Nothing else. You could recharge it if you connect it to your outlet, but we're not going to talk about the outlet and how much and how fast. We're not going to talk about that. This is for a bug out situation, and you need something to be able to charge your equipment. You know, what kind of equipment are you going to need to be able to charge? Well, one of the things I have in here, and let me bring it out here. It's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Is a radio. I want to make sure I can use my radio. Frequency mode. There we go. There we go. KI5 MOA radio test. No signal. Oh, hey, it did come back. But you know what? It barely came back. It took a second. So what I want to do is to test it. Yes, this is my backup antenna, which is really nice. Hopefully you plan. See? Makes it small. But then I can make it a lot bigger. Frequency mode. KI5 MOA radio test. That may be an issue. KI5 MOA radio test. Yeah. KI5 MOA radio test. I may be too far away. So that's an issue. But I still have the radio in case somebody else is trying to do the same exact thing as I am. Okay, so I'm going to need to be able to charge that. Well, how do you charge it? Because this one connects to a 110 outlet. I got to be able to charge it. And it connects to a 110 outlet. So what I can do, I can turn on the battery. I'll show you this here in a little separately. But I can turn on the battery, turn on the AC side of the battery, plug this in here, and plug my radio into it. And is it charging? It's charging. It's working good. So that's one unit, by the way. Okay, so you know what a battery backup. I don't have to explain that to you. You want to make sure you have the right equipment when you bug out, by the way. If you're going to have a battery backup, make sure you have things that you can charge with it. This is a light. This is an awesome little light that I can. Yeah, I think you can see the colors there as it changes. Pretty cool. Anyway, my grandson loves this thing. Okay, so, but it doesn't take a whole lot of power to charge this. This is also Go Zero, by the way. Really neat unit. Doesn't cost a whole lot, but you can charge it with this unit. It's USB rechargeable, which I would recommend a lot of the equipment that you have, make it USB rechargeable so that way you don't have any issues. So one of the other things that I think is important when you're in a bug out scenario and you want to know what's going on communications wise is you got to have a radio. You got to have a radio. How do you know what's going on if you don't have a radio? Let's see.
Especially with things going on in the state, even regionally, and then nobody votes. I just, I'm not asking for your opinion because you don't do that.
Well, here's a sign of the times.
I don't get it.
Yeah, here's a sign of the times from this morning. I was out there at the same place. I was at Richardson City Hall.
Right.
Same column of the parking lot, not like on another
Very
side of
cool.
the parking lot. Two different people.
Let's see.
One was with one.
Let's see what I got here. Let's see what I got here.
Were made at 2 p.m. Corsicana, mostly sunny, 70, dew point 16, relative humidity 12%, wind southwest at 6.
Got a weather radio, so I know what's coming. You got to have everything.
Midlothian walks,
But here's the problem with these. They run out of batteries. Luckily enough, this one has a solar panel. And right now the light is red, so I can sit it right out here and charge it with solar. But, what happens when you get older? If you had to, if I needed to charge it faster, I can reach in here, Whoop. Plug it in. Plug it in. Let's see. Plug it in into my Sherpa. I've got a red light. Oh, actually, I have a red light and a green light that comes on, letting me know that it's charging it. That's kind of nifty. So I have a way to be able to charge everything. But what do you do? What do you do when you're you run out? How do you keep plugging things in and make it work? Well, let me tell you this much. This unit right now is telling me that it's at 74%, and I'll show you this the screen here in a bit. It's at 74% right now. What's cool about this, it says I have about 14 watts going out between all this charging my radio and charging my my AM FM radio, NOAA radio, and my ham radio. I am spending 14. It's telling me I'm spending 14 watts. So it says that this battery's going to be dead in about 4.4 hours. Pretty cool unit. It tells you exactly when it's going to die. I don't want it to die. I need it to keep charging. So what's cool about this unit, and I really want to show you, it's the Goal Zero panel. It is I believe this is 20. I believe this is 20 watt panel. Very cool. And oh, by the way, you can plug a USB. You notice that in the back, a USB right to the back of it if you want to. You don't even have to connect it into the Sherpa. So you can conserve the battery there if you're just charging one thing. But what we're going to do, we're going to show you how to set this thing up. We're going to plug this into the Sherpa and then do the Sherpa. Why do I call it Sherpa? I don't know why I call it Sherpa. I have no idea. And I want to get out, know how much the sun that I got today, how much it's going to give me as far as power goes. So I've now set up my panel. I'm sitting here in the shade, relaxing. Very cool. And now I'm going to plug this in, and I'm going to see. It says I have remember I said 4.2 hours before it died, I think? Okay. Well, what's happening, because now I'm using solar, it's changing really fast. Now it's telling me, hey, you have 13 watts coming in from the sun right now. So it's not getting the full 20. It's just the way it goes sometimes. But it's telling me instead of the 4.2, I now have 9 hours worth of this. It's amazing because it's bringing in power from the sun and charging this up at the same exact time. So it's charging it while it's discharging it. So that's kind of cool. So I'm using 14. I'm using 14, and it's giving me 13. And let's see if I can adjust a little bit. Maybe it'll give me a little more. And I can actually drop. Hold on a second. Let's see. I adjusted it. Did I get more? Come on. No, still 13. Still about 13. Looks like that's all I'm going to get out of it right now. So, but the great thing is, if I don't need to charge my radio, I only charge one. It's gone down to 10. Now I have 21 hours of battery on this thing. This thing tells you a lot of information, which is real. That's why I like it a lot, because it's a really cool unit that not only tells you how much power you're using, how much is coming in, how much is going out. It'll actually tell you what percentage the battery's at. Again, this is at 74, and it's going to tell you how long your battery's going to last you based on your usage. And oh, by the way, when you hook up the panel, it's going to tell you, hey man, what am I up to? This is 42 hours. 42 hours right now. That's what it's telling me. I've got 9 watts going out. It jumped up to 15 watts coming in. It's charging my radio, my emergency radio, because you got to know what's going on. So you want to make sure this thing's charged up. Okay, so basically, this is the video. That is the video. I wanted to be able to show you the really cool, basically bug out portable generator. Portable generator. And I don't know if you think that's a big deal, but that's a big deal. A portable generator you could take with you. Obviously, you got to have sun. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. You got to have sun. So hopefully it's a nice sunny day. But even in overcast, you get a little bit of wattage coming in. So, and what's cool about this thing too, by the way, as I was showing you this panel that I got here and sitting in the sun, what's cool about this is if you put that down, you notice it's got holes right here, right there. Tie that to the back of your backpack. So as you're walking, it's tied to the back of your backpack. You're walking in the sun. It's charging it. It's charging is charging your Sherpa. Have it hooked up to your Sherpa. Sherpa, is it Sherpa? It's Sherpa. So and anyway, you're able to charge your Sherpa on the go. So this is a really neat unit. Again, I'm going to show you some pictures of it that you'll see on there, and I'll show you some quick video shots of what the front of the face looks like, so you can see for yourself. I hope this video helps you a little bit as far as, you know, I'm not going to tell you it's a cheap unit. It is not a cheap unit. They have battery backup units that are a lot cheaper than this, but they're not all solar generators. They're not all solar generators. And this is a 20 watt panel with a 100 watt, and if you would get full sun out of it, you'd be able to charge this up in about 5 hours. So if you don't need it during the day, you make sure that you're charging it all up, so that way if you need it at night, you still be able to use it. Or you have a light, charge your light up during the day while you got the sun, and so you minimal having to use it, and you have the battery backup in case you need it at night. So for an emergency, you know, you can. And if you're one of those people that, you know, you carry a laptop or whatever, make sure it's one that doesn't take a lot of power. You can throw it in there, and it can run your laptop as well. So that's pretty much it. My biggest thing I just wanted to show you is that there are options for solar generators for bug out bags that are awesome. A little costly, but you know, definitely worth it. This is one of them that's worth it. So that's all I got. I hope this little video helps you, but let's go over the panel first before I go away. Okay. Goal 0. Charging my radio, charging my light for tonight, and charging my ham radio for emergencies. And oh, by the way, have the extra cord to be able to charge this phone that I'm using right now. So let's take a look, see what we got here. It's a little hard to see, but it's saying I still got 25 hours charging all this stuff. 23 hours, somewhere around there. I've got 12 watts. Oh, look at that. 12 watts going out, charging, that's all it's taking. And I've got 17 watts coming in. So I'm putting in more power than I'm taking out, which is kind of cool. This goes off every once in a while to conserve your power. Look at that. Time to empty. What does it say? That's a long time. 17 hours. Oh, look at it. 16, 17 watts coming in. It's pretty awesome. I'll tell you that right now. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Get rid of some of this. Set this extra stuff, but let's see. Oh, yeah. But this is how many hours I've got. So and what is basically saying, I've got more power coming in than I've got going out. So that's why that time to empty is not going to be 100%, because I'm putting more power in than I'm taking out. So it's going to obviously last for days if in these conditions. But basically, this will charge up. This will charge up to 100% before the end of the day, and then I'll still have full power at night, which is a very cool thing. So this is one I recommend. Like I said, it's got an AC option as well. It has 2 USB, and then it has 2 60 watt USB-C or USB, you know what I mean. So so it's a really cool unit. Okay. So I'm glad I built this little shelter here, because I get out of the sun, get to show you a couple of things. Hopefully you learn something. Hopefully you learn something that helps you and making a decision if that's something that you're going to want in one of these units. So make sure your go bag is set up right, that you have it in your vehicle at all time, and that's pretty much it. That's everything I wanted to talk to you about today. The only shortfall I had, or fail, is my band-aids. I left my case in the sun, and that's no bueno. So check your gear every once in a while. So I haven't checked that in like about, I think it's been there for like about 6 months. So that's probably a bad mistake on my part. So check your gear every once in a while, okay? Especially if you have food in there, you want to make sure that it doesn't spoil or anything like that. Okay, that's pretty much all I got.